I just want to clear something up real quick. I consistently see these people who are just, I have no judgment, make that clear. This is completely just an expression of how I personally perceive things, what I personally believe. So I'm consistently seeing these people who are going after this. They're going after the gratification of what others have already achieved. And they're seeing something that others have already done, and they're thinking that's what their success level is going to be depicted on. If they can get to that level that they've already seen someone do or achieve, or if they can better that, or at least get to that level. When you're going after that, that's the clout. That's not going in it for any reason other than your own selfishness. And it's important to understand, I think. So this is regarding, I guess, it's content creation, except more so based around the aspect of YouTube, because there's such a hype around it at the moment. There's so many people going directly in, full speed ahead, and you know, within the first month they're just burning themselves out because they have this expectation that is set on what other people have already succeeded within. So they think, I'm going to go down this pathway that someone else has already, you know, achieved their own rightful success within, and if I do that, I'm going to get to that level as well. The issue with this is, it's not about them, it's about you. People think you have to be telling a story within every single thing that you do within YouTube. Sometimes the strongest story is simply you. You are the story. You expressing yourself freely, being honest, being trustworthy, being exactly who you are. That's the story. That's not, you know, there's definitely that level of captivation within actually being able to present and storytell, but if that's not something that you really want to go after, because it has been rightfully done, and understandably so, it is, you know, exceptionally accepted, to be entirely honest. It's something that really will get you that momentum, and it will provide you with immaculate, you know, results, except the aspect of others being able to connect with what you are doing through that storytelling aspect. Except I think it's also important to understand that there's another level of it. There's something else that you really can do. What that is simply being exactly who you are. I mean, this is something that I'm really trialing. Not trialing because I'm just doing it. I don't really care what anyone thinks. I don't really care about the gratification from it. I'm not doing it for anyone else. I'm not doing it for success, what people assume to be success. I'm not doing it for that. I'm just doing it to have a complete representation of who I am and to have that expression of it. I think that, you know, I'm not trying to put myself on a pedestal. I'm just being exactly who I am and trying to present that so that potentially others may be able to connect with it. See that you don't have to be chasing this thing that is potentially, once again, on a pedestal that you feel you need to go up and try and grab off. It's not like that. I think that it's more so about just progressing within your own self and being exactly who you are and allowing others to connect with that journey that you put yourself on. It's about that kind of story of evolving within who you are and being able to present that, take others on a journey throughout it. I think there's definitely one strong aspect of, you know, being able to tell a story, except it's important to note that there's not one way to do things. There's not just one specific pathway that you see someone else following and you need to, you know, go down that as well. Like, I see people trying to sell these kind of tutorials of how to make it on YouTube. That is the biggest marketing ploy ever. It's worked for one person. That doesn't mean it's going to work for someone else. You've got to embrace your own characteristics. You've got to embrace your own personality. You've got to understand how you can grow within yourself and be who you are, to express that, to then build that base of trust, to allow others to understand that you are being honest within yourself, that you're actually building this kind of understanding of who you are, what you're presenting, and the values that you have within you. Because it's not just about going out there and just putting everything out, doing exactly what others have already found success within. It's really about dialing in on who you are. Like, I personally, I'm doing this so that I can express myself. I'm doing it so I can connect with myself, become more comfortable, be able to be confident within myself. I really want others to understand that just through doing this, like, I've been doing this now for over 6 months, and I find so much, you know, freedom within the opportunity just to express myself and be who I am and just put it out there. Like, I don't really care. I don't bother with anyone's judgment. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. Like, I am exactly who I am. I accept myself, and I want others to really understand that when you accept yourself, you have that appreciation for your own characteristics, who you are, the experiences that have molded who you are, and you kind of find this aspect of being just entirely fulfilled within your own self and being satisfied with who you are, that's when you can really put yourself out there and I guess be able to potentially provide value to others through simply being exactly who you are and allowing others to contagiously understand that it's okay to be who you are, not to try and be this thing that's on a pedestal, because that won't find you happiness. Happiness is the biggest ingredient to success, because success is simply based, obviously it's subjective, but I personally believe, and so many do I'm sure, that success is based, at the end of the day, how happy you are with who you are, and whether you can go home with a smile on your face, whether you can wake up every day, have a smile on your face and be happy to go out there and do exactly what you are doing, or at least find the gratification within the aspect that you are being exactly who you are. You're not trying to be something that you're not. You're not trying to impress people with shit that doesn't matter to them, doesn't matter to you. You're just putting it out there to actually get their kind of acceptance. It's not about acceptance from anybody else except yourself, and you've got to find it within you. And it does take time. It takes self-awareness. It takes growth. It takes a lot of, hard work within your own mind to actually come to that conclusion that you are happy with who you are. And it's a constant evolution. You are constantly building on yourself. You're constantly trying to grow who you are and what you're actually achieving, except it's also very important to have those foundations in place so that you can build on them and build on them and constantly be true to exactly who you are, because that's how others will really connect with you. And I think the connection aspect is the most foundational, fundamental aspect that really can provide you with, I guess, that energizing entertainment and enjoyment from what it is that you're doing. I think that it's so important to just be who you are and express yourself freely. Go through and describe the emotions, describe the experiences, be able to immerse others within those kind of experiences that you may have. And that's something that I am working on. I mean, I want to be able to immerse others within what I am capturing sometimes, and I want people to come on that experience with me. But at the moment I'm really just getting a bit more confident, being able to express myself, find that kind of balance where I'm not putting pressure on myself. I don't have expectations. I'm just doing it because I enjoy it and because I want to. I'm not doing it to try and beat my expectations. I'm not trying to fulfill those expectations that are too high. I've found that middle ground of acceptance within being who I am, doing what I want, and just putting it out there because I'm happy with myself and I don't really care what anyone thinks of me. It's so important just to, I guess, find that gratitude within being who you are. I mean, there's often these kinds of misconceptions, I guess, around putting forward something that will then get you attention and acceptance, and that's where that clout comes from. That's where people think that they're going to get something from doing exactly what someone else has already done. And it frustrates me because you want to be who you are, you want to express yourself, you want to not follow the trends, you want to be the trend simply by being yourself. I think that's the most important thing. Like, it doesn't matter if you really want to chase after trends and being a trendsetter, go for it, go all your life. It doesn't bother me. I just think that it's important to be who you are, and if I can allow others to really accept themselves and appreciate themselves, find that clarity within their own mind to be who they are, and foundationally put that in place so that they can continue to grow, that's something that I really value, because I want to be able to push that on others. Not push it, it's obviously there for others to interpret however they want, but I think that it's important just for me personally to be able to put that in place for others to understand, because it's so important not to put too much pressure on yourself. I really, really believe that. I mean, there's always going to be this level of expectation that you have for yourself, and it's very, very important to be able to, I guess, set those goals, but you've got to be realistic with yourself. Yes, be optimistic, but when you're setting goals, be realistic. If you're someone who can strive to achieve everything and you're not going to burn yourself out in the process, go for it. But it's important to take note of where you are and have that self-awareness to be able to put those goals in place that are going to be beneficial for you and valuable, so that you can strive to achieve them, but you're not going to be losing who you are in the process. Because it seems to happen quite a lot, I must admit. And like I've said, you can always grow. Obviously, I believe very much in self-improvement and constantly growing, but you've got to be true to yourself. as that foundation, and that's where the acceptance comes from. I mean, if you have that in place, you have this pot to grow from. Bit of an interesting metaphor. If you have it to grow from, and you constantly build on it, you'll then, build this mound, which is you. That's a terrible metaphor, but you understand, you can constantly build from that, and you still have this foundational aspect that is you. This is still you. You are just building on top of it. You're not trying to take away from it. You're just building. Constantly improving who you are to benefit yourself and to potentially benefit others. I think it's really very important to just put that in place. I mean, yeah, a lot of what I'm going to be expressing is going to be related to photography, but I think there's also a lot of it within the psychological aspect that, I've personally, I guess, gone through and experienced that I really want to be able to provide to others, because I've overcome, I guess, my own mental difficulties, and I believe that if I'm able to, I guess, produce that clarity or produce something that has really helped me and it might be able to help others, that's something that I really do value, because I understand how powerful it really can be and how helpful it can be. And if I'm able to offer that, then that's a real, I guess, success in what I believe to be success, because I achieved that goal that I set for myself, which is based on who I am, and it will provide me with happiness because it's something that I want to do and something that I really value, and it's from within my morals of always wanting to provide and present as much as I can within the value realms to other people. I mean, that's success to me, because it's my goals. I've depicted my own goals. I am what I am. I accept that. So I push forward to be able to achieve these goals that I have, which are based on my own ambitions, to then go out there and achieve it. And I have a ton, like an absolute ton of goals and ambitions, but it's just about kind of having these little steps along the way to actually be able to, present it in the best way that you can and allow yourself to achieve them without potentially putting too much pressure on yourself to the point where you aren't able to achieve them. So just allow yourself to take the steps there. Don't try and run that sprint, because it's not worth it. If you're running a sprint, you're going to burn out before you get to the 200-meter line if you haven't trained for it. And you're running a 400-meter race, you're running a kilometer race, you're running a 40-kilometer marathon, whatever it may be. If you're running to sprint, you're never going to get there with you're never going to get there with the ability to actually be able to, be happy with yourself. I think that it's about just taking those consistent steps. Like that, once again, a terrible metaphor in regards to not being able to back it up, but it made sense in my mind. And the reason being that, when you sprint, you stop and you start, you lose that momentum. And momentum is a very powerful thing. It's about building yourself up so that you can run that, 400-meter race, that kilometer race, that 10-kilometer race, 40-kilometer race. Something that you're constantly striving to do, and you put those foundations in place so that you can build yourself up to be able to, have that longevity about it, so that you're not just running in there with a mindset that you're going to do it for, 1 week and say, where are the results? It's not about that. It's never going to be about that. If you're about that, then you're not going to find satisfaction within what you're doing, and you constantly be jumping around without focusing on one specific thing. And it's very important to find your own focus within what it is that you want to do, and aligning your own goals and ambitions with your own values, morals, and where you want to be when you understand who you are and what you want to achieve. Very interesting concept. I'm not saying that I'm the first person to obviously speak of this kind of stuff, but it's coming from a place which is within me that I'm constantly building on, and I really want to be able to provide that. So, if you are taking something away from this and you're really benefiting from it, then I'm proud. I really am, because that's really what I want to be able to get out of this and provide. So yeah, it's important for me to be able to do that, to be entirely honest. Yeah, photography is a very big part of my life, but photography, the reason it's such a huge part of my life is because it's offered me a better understanding of my own mental well-being and my own, you know, psychological understanding, I guess, within how my mind works and how I can present myself in the best possible position. I mean, going into the business perspective of photography and putting myself in that kind of mindset of, whether you want to call it an entrepreneurial mindset or just being in business, you know, it's offered me so much, because there's been so many learning curves that I've had to come over in regards to being uncomfortable, except finding acceptance within that uncomfort and then just pushing through it so that I can, you know, strive to achieve what I want to achieve and be able to do it in the best of my ability. Because you're selling yourself short if you don't go out of your comfort zone and you're too scared to go out of your comfort zone, because you never know what might be out there. Like, if you've got yourself a radius this big and, you know, say your desired clients here, you got to expand that comfort zone. If it's already out here and you got to join the dots before you get there, you just got to constantly expand, grow, be exactly who you are, allow people to connect with you through understanding that you are honest within yourself and presenting yourself with comfort within who you are. I think that's how people build the foundations of potential networks, because they are truthfully presenting themselves with who they are and providing a service relating to who they are. It's, you know, it's very powerful, I think. So yeah, that's a bit of a thing that's going on in my mind. It's constantly there, but something that I want to just express, potentially be able to, you know, allow others to relate to and build upon, I guess. Because it's not just about taking on board what I have to say, it's about interpreting it and, you know, understanding that you have your own mindset, you have your own way of thinking about things and perceiving things, and then chopping and changing potentially to get the most value out of it for your own self, not just taking it, running with it, and then looking back at it in, you know, 3 months and saying, oh, that wasn't relatable to me in my situation. It's about interpreting it, putting it into your own kind of perspective, and then just incorporating bits and pieces that you really relate with and that you want to get value out of, or that you feel you might be able to get value out of. You know, like, there's obviously going to be that filter system where you don't acknowledge things that you don't want to probably hear, but it's just important really to go out of that comfort zone. And, you know, I understand some people just aren't going to, but it provides you with so much happiness and fulfillment, satisfaction, and just enjoyment. Like, it's really important to just try it, give it a go, not just once but consistently, and build on it. Because once you feel comfortable with being uncomfortable, that's when you truly find who you are and what you really want to be able to provide and present. That sounded pretty decent. I'm satisfied with that. Alright, done. Beautiful. As you may be able to tell, I'm in one of my favourite places, just on the cliffside. I don't know, this is coming back to a comfortable place, so I'm being hypocritical if you really want to say so, but I just really love it. I really do love it. It's very relaxing for me and enjoyable. Get to look out, see everything, sun setting, golden tones, ships on the horizon, classic Newcastle. Yeah, it's beautiful. Oh man, I got some bad posture sometimes. I really need to work on that. Jeez. Alright. That'll do me. I was gonna slap the hands, but I slapped them anyway, so that'll do me. Cheers for your time. I'll catch you on the flip side. Oh. Oh. Man. I feel like an old man.